Hello students, today we will learn the next illustration number 5 relating to the computation of business income. See the illustration. From the following profit and loss account of Mr. Manoj for the year ended 31st March 2020, compute the gross total income for the assessment year 2020-21. So on the debit side of profit and loss account, they have given to salaries and wages rupees 5 lakh, to rent rupees 1,20,000, advertisement rupees 3 lakh, travelling expenses rupees 2 lakh, bad debt rupees 52,000, general expenses rupees 3 lakh, provision for taxation rupees 3 lakh. So the continuation: addition to office building rupees 3 lakh, GST paid rupees 2,50,000, income tax paid rupees 1,50,000. Again on the credit side, they have given interest on fixed deposit rupees 10,500, bad debt recovered not allowed as deduction rupees 20,000, refund of income tax rupees 10,000, interest on income tax refund rupees 1,500, rent received rupees 60,000, and winning from lottery net value is given rupees 35,000. So the net profit is 31,70,000. The total of both the side rupees 56,42,000. So again the additional information is given: the opening stock of rupees 25 lakh and closing stock of rupees 20 lakh, both undervalued by 20%. Advertisement expenses include cost of neon sign board rupees 50,000, GST of rupees 20,000 for the previous year 2018-19 was paid on 15th Jan 2020 but not included in the above profit and loss account. General expenses includes rupees 40,000 drawn by assessee for personal use, rupees 5,000 being cost of installing new telephone, rupees 12,000 being fees paid to the chartered accountant in connection with the income tax appeal before the appellant tribunal. So this question, it is similar to the last illustration number 4. So there is a slight changes in the illustration. They have added still more adjustment here in this illustration. So with this information of profit and loss account and additional information, we have to compute the gross total income. We have to compute the gross total income of Mr. Manoj for the assessment year 2020-21. So here, in order to find the gross total income, they have given the information about the calculation of a business income, and again they have given the sum of the income which is taxable under different heads while computing the gross total income. Now we'll see one by one. So firstly, we have to see the debit side of profit and loss account to check the disallowed expenses. So the first one is salaries and wages. So Mr. Manoj has paid a salaries and wages is a business allowed expenses, so it should be there in the net profit. Rent is taken as a business allowed expenses and it should be there in the profit and loss account. Advertisement is also, it is a business allowed expenses, business related expenses, and it should be there in the profit and loss account. Traveling expenses also business related and it is taken as allowed expenses. Bad debt also we can take as a business related expenses. General expense also business related expenses. Provision, so all the provisions are disallowed, so we have to add it to the net profit. Next, addition to office building. So the addition to office building is in the form of capital in nature, so this also we have to add it to the net profit. GST paid is allowed business expenses. Income tax paid is a disallowed business expenses, so this one we have to cancel from a net profit by adding to the net profit. Next, on the credit side, they have given gross profit brought down. Next, interest on fixed deposit, so it is not relating to business income, so it should be deducted from a business it should be deducted under the head income to be treated separately while calculating the business income. Here they have asked to compute the gross total income. Again this income, interest income on FD, is taxable under the head income from other source. Then bad debt recovered not allowed as deduction. Bad debt recovered, so in the previous year they have recovered the one of a bad debt amount of rupees 20,000, but it was not allowed as a deduction in the previous year, so it should be deducted. It is not taken as a income for this particular assessment year, so it should be deducted from a net profit while calculating the business income, and it is not taxable any other head, so it should be deducted. Only one treatment for the bad debt recovered not allowed as deduction. Not allowed and disallowed earlier is one and the same. Next, refund of income tax. So the refund of income tax is not relating to business, it should be deducted and only once we have to take. it is not taken as a income which is not taxable under any heads of a income while computing the gross total income. Then interest on income tax refund. Interest on income tax refund is not relating to business, so it should be deducted while computing the business income. And again, the interest income what the Manoj earns from an income tax refund is taxable under the head income from other source. It is taxable under the head income from other source. Then rent received is taken as it is a rent received from a house property. Being a owner of a house property, Manoj has given that house property for a rent, and he received the rental income is nothing but the income he is receiving from a house property. So it is not relating to business income. It should be deducted while computing the business income. And again, this rental income is taxable under the head section 22 of the house property. Next, winning from lottery is not taken as a business income and it should be deducted while computing the business income. And again, for the lottery income, it is taxable under the head other source while computing the gross total income. But when they give net value, we have to gross up in the other source head. Next, they have given some of the additional information here. Next, see the additional information under that. The first one, the opening stock rupees 25 lakh and closing stock rupees 20 lakh both undervalued by 20%. So in the while preparing the trading and profit and loss account, the opening stock should be debited and the closing stock should be credited. But while calculating this net profit, both opening stock as well as closing stock, they have recorded less, undervalued by 20%. They have recorded 20% less. Now, what is the treatment for this? See once the format of computation of business income. So under the net profit, while calculating the business income, we have to add the disallowed expenses. Under that, we have to add the undervaluation of closing stock and overvaluation of opening stock, and undervaluation of opening stock and overvaluation of closing stock should be deducted while computing the business income. So in this question they have given opening stock and closing stock both are undervalued. So undervaluation of closing stock we have to add to the net profit, and undervaluation of opening stock we have to less deduct to the net profit. So why it is added and deducted, I have already explained. So now we'll see once the opening stock undervalued. So in the case of undervaluation of opening stock, so in the profit and loss account, in the trading and profit and loss account, so opening stock is recorded in the trading. So in the trading and profit and loss account, while preparing the trading and profit and loss account, they have recorded on the debit side they have recorded two opening stock. So this opening stock has been undervalued. They have recorded less. So they have recorded less. So this is a total of both side, credit side and debit side total, both the side total. So we'll take with the one example. So here the total might be the 1 lakh amount. Total might be the 1 lakh. We got total of rupees 1 lakh. So here actual opening stock we will take it as a 40,000 as a actual opening stock, but they have recorded here, they have recorded less opening stock, means they have recorded 20,000 opening stock. So in the case of 20,000 opening stock, so if you find the net gross profit, what is the answer you are going to get? So 1 lakh minus 20,000 is equal to 80,000. You are going to get a gross profit of rupees 80,000. So this is a case of when we have recorded a opening stock less. Again, if you record this actual net, what is the treatment? So instead of writing 20,000, if you recorded the 40,000 opening stock, then what will be the gross profit you will be getting? 1 lakh minus 40,000, you are going to get 60,000. So this is the actual. So this is the actual profit. So when you recorded less, when you opening stock is recorded less, so our profit shows more, isn't it? When undervaluation of opening stock is nothing but, so when we record opening stock is recorded less, means it is debited less here. So this is a less debited. So it is debited less on the debit side of profit and loss account. It is debited less. When it debited less, our profit shows more. It is a profit. Our profit shows more. So now we want actual profit. In order to find the actual profit, what we have to do, the difference, what is the difference, the 20,000 difference we have to debit to the profit and loss account. So to debit to the profit and loss account, what we have to do, instead of deducting 20,000 we have to deduct 40,000. Instead of deducting 20,000 we have to deduct 40,000, means we have to make it correct here. Instead of deducting 20,000 we have to deduct 40,000, means we have to deduct still more 20,000 here, still more 20,000 to record. So 20,000 already recorded, undervalued, so again we need to record 20,000 in order to get a 40,000. So that is nothing but we have to deduct to the net profit. So because of recording less, our profit has shown more. So undervaluation of opening stock means, undervaluation of opening stock means what? Opening stock means here, because of recording less, our gross profit shows more. Our profit, undervaluation of opening stock, our profit shows more. When our profit shows more, we want to take the actual profit here. So in order to take a actual profit, what we have to do, we have to deduct the remaining, the difference, we have to deduct the undervalued portion of the opening stock. So that is what undervaluation of opening stock is deducted. So where it is, yes, it is a deducted. So undervaluation of opening stock should be deducted. Understood? So while explaining the format in the first video, I by mistakenly written undervaluation of opening stock, profit shows less. So in the case of undervaluation of opening stock, profit will shows more. Okay, so closing stock case is correct, it profit shows more but treatment is deducted. Here overvaluation of opening stock means profit shows less. So that is the opposite case. By mistake I wrote, explained properly, but written at the end I wrote, I made a mistake while writing. So that is and in the case of undervaluation of opening stock, profit shows more, and in the case of overvaluation of opening stock, profit shows less. So similarly we will take for the closing stock, undervaluation of closing stock. So we will assume the closing stock, we'll take the actual closing stock is 1 lakh. Actual closing stock is 1 lakh. So here we will assume only we have only one item. So the closing stock actual is 1 lakh. So we will assume only one item on the credit side we have. So instead to avoid a confusion, we will assume only one item on the credit side. So actual closing stock is 1 lakh. So undervaluation of closing stock means we have recorded less on the credit side. We will take, we recorded 90,000 on the credit side. Actually it is 1 lakh. We have recorded 90,000. So when we recorded on the when we recorded less on the credit side, when closing stock is undervalued, the total shows less, total will be 90,000. When total is 90,000, we will assume opening stock is 40,000. So 90 minus 40, how much? 90 minus 40, we will get 50,000 as a gross profit. We will get it. This is a case of undervaluation. Okay, so here the gross net closing stock has been undervalued, and that because of that total shows less, and because of that our gross profit also shows less. If we record actual closing stock, instead of writing 90,000, if we record actual closing stocks, that is 1 lakh, this is the actual closing stock. When we record 1 lakh actual closing stock, so our total also shows actual, so that is 1 lakh actual closing actual total. So when we deduct here 1 lakh minus 40, our gross profit shows 60,000. So this is the actual. So when we record less, when closing stock is undervalued, in the case of undervaluation 90,000, our total shows less. Because of that, gross profit also shows less compared to actual profit. So in order to get the actual profit, so this is the actual gross profit. In order to get the actual profit, what we have to do? So here undervalued portion how much? 10,000. So in order to get actual gross profit, we have to record 1 lakh. We have to record 1 lakh means here we have to add 10,000 amount. So 90,000 already recorded. 90,000 already added, so here we have to add 10,000, so we will get 1 lakh total. So if you deduct 40,000, we will get actual gross profit. So in order to find the exact or actual gross profit, the undervalued portion, what we have to do, we have to add to the gross profit, nothing but net profit, we have to add to the net profit. Okay, so for this 50,000 we have to, this is a wrong gross profit we have. So for this 50,000 we have to add the undervalued portion, that is 10,000, to get the actual gross profit or a net profit. So remember, in the case of undervaluation of closing stock, in the case of undervaluation of closing stock, in the case of undervaluation of closing stock, the profit shows less. So the profit shows less. When profit shows less, what we have to do, to the gross profit we have to add the undervalued portion of the closing stock. So that is nothing but undervaluation of closing stock shows profit less, so we have to add. Okay, so that is about the undervaluation and overvaluation of closing stock. So here we have to add not the full amount, only the portion of a undervalued amount. Okay, in order to make a correct, we have to add only the undervalued part of the amount. So that we will calculate here while solving the illustration. What is the undervalued portion? So here 20% they have recorded less, so we have to record exact value. So that is about opening and closing stock undervaluation. So undervaluation of opening stock we have to deduct to the, see here, undervaluation of opening stock we have to deduct, undervaluation of opening stock we have to deduct, and undervaluation of closing stock we have to add. So that is about the not, we have to take, you should not take the actual value, it is undervalued by 20%, so we have to take only the 20%. Okay, next we'll see the next adjustment. Advertisement expenses include cost of neon signboard. So this is already explained. The advertisement expenses, which is relating to cost of neon signboard, is a revenue related expenditure, it is allowed. So allowed expenses is already included in the advertisement expenses, means already recorded here on the debit side. So when they already recorded, we have to ignore. If it is not recorded, then we have to record. If there is any disallowed amount recorded, then we have to cancel. Next, GST of rupees 20,000 for the previous year 2018-19 was paid in the previous year 15/1/2020, but not recorded in the above profit and loss account. So this is a similar adjustment relating to previous illustration, like previous illustration. So that is a GST actually allowable 20,000, it is paid in the previous year, but they have not included here. So we have to record. To record, we have to deduct to the net profit, that is nothing but allowable expenses not allowed so far. Then general expenses include 40,000 drawn by assessee for personal use. So here in the question they have given general expenses 3 lakh amount. In this 3 lakh they have included 40,000 which is drawn by assessee for the personal use. They have debited on the debit side as a general expenses. In that 40,000 is for the personal use included. So it is a disallowed expenses. Personal use is a disallowed, so disallowed expenses is included here, disallowed expenses is recorded here. So what we have to do, disallowed expenses we have to add to the net profit to cancel from a general expenses. Next, 5,000 being cost of installing new telephone. So cost of installing new telephone is a allowed business expenses as per section 37, it is allowed business expenses. So allowed business expenses is already included in the general expenses or debited in the profit and loss account, should be there in the net profit only. So we should not cancel, so leave as it is, ignore that adjustment. Next, rupees 12,000 being fees paid to the chartered accountant in connection with the income tax appeal before appellant tribunal. So this is a allowed business expenses. Okay, so income tax paid is a disallowed, it is a personal expenses, but the fees paid relating to the income tax appeal, relating to the connection of the relating to the work of a income tax is allowed business expenses. So business income is also one of a it is also one of a income. So for that business income they have to pay any fees to the chartered accountant relating to the some work relating to the income tax appeal. So that is treated as allowed business expenses, so it should be there in the general expenses. So it is already included, so allowed expenses already included, so ignore it. If there is a disallowed expenses included, then we have to add or cancel from a net profit. So this is about this illustration. Now we'll work out this illustration. Write the heading computation of business income. So here we have to compute the gross total income. To compute the gross total income, firstly we have to compute the business income. So now write the heading computation of business income. Now let's work out the solution fastly. Write the heading computation of business income of Mr. Manoj for the assessment year 2020-21. So 3 column particulars and 2 amount columns. So we'll start with the net profit as per profit and loss account. So what is the net profit given here? That is nothing but rupees 31,70,000. So the net profit as per profit and loss account is rupees 31,70,000. So next we have to add the disallowed expenses. So to write the disallowed expenses, we have to see the debit side of profit and loss account. So now we'll see one by one. So salaries allowed, rent allowed, advertisement allowed, traveling advertisement, relating to advertisement there is an adjustment. So that is the advertisement expenses include cost of neon signboard. So it is allowed expenses. So when allowed expenses is recorded, it is taken as allowed only. So ignore as it is. Traveling expenses allowed, bad debt allowed, general expenses there is a adjustment relating to general expenses. So see here, general expenses includes 40,000 drawn by SSE for personal use. So general expenses of rupees 40,000 drawn by SSE for personal use is a disallowed expenses. So when disallowed expenses is included in the general expenses, we have to cancel. So we have to cancel, we have to add it to the net profit under disallowed expenses. So write general expenses includes personal use, or you can write drawings personal use. So personal use is disallowed. So what is the amount of personal use? They have given 40,000. 40,000 is a disallowed. Next, general expenses is included cost of installing new telephone allowed. So we have to take only disallowed expenses. So allowed ignore. Then 12,000 being paid to chartered accountant for the chartered accountant in connection with the income tax appeal before appellant tribunal. So it is allowed business expenses. We have to it should be there in the net profit. So don't cancel by adding disallowed expenses. So the remaining 2 expenses which is included in the general expenses is allowed. So only this one is a disallowed. So we have to add it to the net profit. So after general expenses, next will be provision for taxation. So provision for taxation will be disallowed. So provision for taxation amount is rupees 3 lakh. So the next one is the addition to office building, that is rupees 3 lakh is a disallowed right here. So what is the amount? That is rupees 3 lakh. Next is GST paid is allowed. Then income tax paid is a disallowed. Income tax paid how much? 1,50,000 is disallowed. Then we have opening stock, undervaluation and closing stock. So we have to add the undervaluation of closing stock. So write undervaluation of closing stock. So undervaluation of closing stock. So here they have given closing stock amount how much? 20 lakh. This is a undervalued. So here opening stock as well as closing stock is undervalued by 20%. So undervaluation of closing stock we have to add it to the net profit. So now we are adding disallowed expenses. So we can take under disallowed expense, or we can take separately adding undervaluation of closing stock. So it is not disallowed expenses, so it should be recorded. So to record we are adding rupees to the extent of 20%. So closing stock given value how much? 20 lakh is given. So closing stock given is 20 lakh. So it is given for a undervalued value. Undervalued value means we will take the, let us assume this total value of closing stock is equal to 100%. Let us assume the actual value of a closing stock is 100%. They recorded less by, they recorded undervalued by 20%, means the given value is for 80%. Then what is the value of 20%? We have to cross multiply. So that is nothing but 20 lakh 20 lakh into 20 divided by 80. So undervaluation of closing stock, we have to take the given value into the rate of the percentage of undervalued divided by 100 minus the percentage. So 20 divided by 80 we will get. So the answer is equal to 5 lakh. The 5 lakh is a undervalued amount. So actually the closing stock value is 25 lakh. Actually the closing stock value should be recorded on the credit side is 25 lakh, but they recorded 20 lakh. So 5 lakh is not recorded. So we have to record on the credit side. So to record, we have to add to the net profit. To record, so the portion of the undervalued amount we have to add to the net profit. So that is added. So now next is advertisement expenses. This is over. GST paid we have to deduct. Then this is disallowed expenses taken. These both are allowed expenses. So there is no other amount. So the total is equal to 12,90,000. 12,90,000. Next we have to add 31,70,000 plus 12,90,000. It is equal to 44,60,000. So next we will take less income to be treated separately. Now see on the credit side, we have to take all the income which should be deducted, which should be taken separately. Interest on FD, bad debt recovered will deduct later, refund of income tax, interest on income tax refund, rent received and the winning from lottery, all the amount we have to deduct. So the value given, what is the given in the same value we have to deduct here. We will write one by one. So interest on FD rupees 10,500, refund of income tax 10,000, interest on income tax refund 1,500, rent received 60,000, winning from lottery 35,000. So all the values have been recorded excluding the bad debt recovered, not allowed as deduction. So this will deduct at the end after calculating all. We will deduct later. So remaining all the amount is deducted which is recorded on the credit side. Now before totaling we have one more item, that is a undervaluation of opening stock. So write undervaluation of opening stock. So here opening stock, undervaluation of opening stock should be deducted. So they have shown 25 lakh. So it is recorded less. So 25 lakh is a given value, that is recorded less means they have given for 80%. Now we want for the 20%. What is the less value recorded? 20%. How much? So that is nothing but 25 lakh into 20 divided by 80. So that is equal to 6,25,000. 6,25,000. So now total all the incomes. So that is equal to 7,42,000. So if you deduct this value from the above value, we will get 37,18,000. Next we have to deduct the allowable expenses not allowed so far. So in the question there is a one expenses, allowable expenses GST paid is not recorded in the above profit and loss account. So we have to deduct under allowable expenses not recorded so far. So GST paid not recorded. So this is how much? The 20,000 value is not recorded. There is no other allowable expenses. So directly we can write outer column. So 37,18,000 minus 20,000 is equal to 36,98,000. 36,98,000. So next one more item we have to deduct here. So there is a one more item we have to deduct, bad debt recovered disallowed earlier. So amount how much bad debt recovered disallowed earlier, not allowed earlier as deduction, rest, that is rupees 20,000. So here it is in front of here 20,000. So if you deduct 36,98,000 minus bad debt recovered disallowed earlier 20,000 is equal to 36,78,000. 36,78,000. So this is nothing but taxable business income. Taxable business income. So here along with the business income they asked to compute the gross total income. So we'll calculate the gross total income. So write the heading computation of gross total income, particulars and two amount column. So under that first one is section 15 of income from salary. So relating to from salary income there is no information given on the credit side, so it is nil. Next section 22 is relating to house property, that is for the income from house property. So relating to house property, so they have given a rent received, so that is about the house property income. So they have given rent received. So rent received, there is no other information to calculate the gross annual value. So rent received is itself taken as a gross annual value, that is equal to rupees 60,000. From the gross annual value, an assessee can claim a deduction if he paid a municipal tax on that house property. If he pays, so that is a Mr. Manoj. So that we have to see on the debit side of profit and loss account, is there any municipal tax paid on house property is given. So there is no information about it. So the 60,000 is equal to the annual value. So on the annual value we have to deduct the standard deduction at 30%, that is a rule, at 30%. So this is calculate 60,000 into 30%, so that is equal to rupees 18,000. So 60,000 minus 18,000 is equal to rupees 42,000. So that is about income from house property. Next section 28 is relating to business income. So business income we have already calculated the taxable business income. So that is equal to 36,78,000. So 36,78,000 is a business income. So next is a head section 45 is relating to capital gain. So relating to capital gain there is no information given on the credit side. So there is no income which is taxable under the head capital gain. Next section 56 is relating to income from other source. So there are income which is taxable under the head other source. We'll see one by one. So the first one, we'll see credit side. The first one is interest on FD, which is taxable under the head other source, interest on FD. So here we have to take the direct amount interest on FD. How much? Rupees 10,500. So if they give net value, then only we have to gross up. So here they have not given net value, so directly we can take. Then bad debt recovered is not taken as a taxable under other source. Then refund of income tax also not taxable under other source. Then interest income which he received from a income tax refund is taxable under other source. So interest on income tax refund is taken under other source. So it should be on this interest income he has to pay tax. So that is amount 1,500 is the interest income. Then rent received is taken under house property income. And then the last one we have winning from lottery. So winning from lottery. So while calculating the gross total income, GTI, we have to take all the value under gross. So here they have given net value of 35,000. So how to gross up 35,000 into 100 by, for the winnings the tax deducted is 30%, so that is 100 by 70. 35,000 into 100 by 70, so that is equal to rupees 50,000. So there is no other income which is there on the credit side. Everything is done. So now total the income from other source, so that is equal to rupees 62,000. So now total the 5 heads of income, so that is equal to 37,82,000 is nothing but GTI, gross total income. So GTI is equal to 37,82,000. So next write note. If you want, you can write advertisement expenses including cost of neon signboard, general expenses including cost of installation of new telephone, and general expenses including the fees which is connection with the income tax appeal. Income tax appeal is a allowed business expenses. You can write note for this because we have not done any treatment for this. You can write note for that. So this is about the illustration number 5.